Alisa Turco. I'm a dog mom. I am a business owner, which is new and exciting and every emotion possible. We got the place in January and then we did a grand opening in April. So it's been a good couple of months. Building, I was scared that I was gonna start and it was gonna be like crickets.
Yeah.
And then it's just slowly built and I don't know, it's been very exciting and less stressful than I was anticipating. So I started in theater. I was in musical theater my whole life. And every time you have a show, you have to make sure that you have your stage makeup. And that was always my favorite part. I always wanted to just, you know, the works. So I don't know, it kind of naturally happened. I didn't anticipate it. I didn't wear makeup in high school unless I was like in a show. So it's kind of funny how I ended up in this. But my mom was like, why don't you do makeup? Because I was a music major at Oakland University. Oh. Because I'm a singer. So that was always like my natural path. And it was horrible doing what I love in a school setting. I didn't want to be a music teacher. So I don't know, it just naturally fell into my lap. I didn't think that was a normal, I didn't know you could do this as a career. So I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do hair. And then we found MMA and it was only makeup and that was just, you know, the perfect path. Yeah, anytime anyone has asked me how to get started in makeup, I always say, absolutely, 100%, go to MMA. They will teach you everything that you need to know. There's just such a difference. I went to aesthetic school and you're supposed to learn makeup and help. Yeah, like it was just, yeah, it's not such a big, broad thing for MMA. It was almost like going to college and having a major. So it was like bridal, and then you had all your classes for bridal and film, and then all the classes that would go under film, and you know, core beauty, everything. I'm sure there's a lot more now because it's been a couple of years since I've been there. But like I said, with being on that film, yeah, I would have never known special effects, and I would have never been able to do the things that I had to do bruises all over legs and stuff like that. But that's not my brand, but I can do it. It's in my tool belt because they just taught me everything that I would need to know. It was like a day, and you know, and they were like, hey, like you can help. Yeah. So my biggest focus has been, so I went to aesthetic school. My biggest focus has been on, I do a lot of eyebrow waxing and shaping, but MMA is really what got me with that, because when I did makeup, you really learn what shape fits every person because you're making it for them. So people come in here and I'll fill them in with makeup and finish it with like a nice finished product rather than just waxing them and you know, they leave. I was not comfortable when I had first gotten to the school. I was terrified and we were just like the class of anxiety, and that's just, you know, that's just the reality. I took out of it where going to the school wasn't teaching me how to be an artist, because you have to do that for yourself. You need to learn what your style is and stick to it and figure out what makes you and differentiates you from other people, because everyone's gonna have a different style. Yeah. When I came out of this, I just felt like a polished professional in the field, because they had taught me sanitation, they had taught me what you need, like your logos, your business cards, how you need to market yourself, the different people that you're going to interact with, what questions to ask people, what questions you shouldn't ask certain people, with just every different walks of life you're going to get. I had worked at one place for, honestly, it was a couple of days, and I know schedules were messed up, it wasn't working, and I was just getting kind of frustrated with it, and I was like, you know what? It's only been a couple days. So I kept with my freelance because I was taking all of the money. I'm not taking a lot of my check away, and because I was doing a bunch of faces and I like get your check and you're like, so I don't know, I wanted a space. I wasn't looking for this. This kind of was an accident, if we're being honest. A beautiful accident. But I was looking for like 100 square foot space to bring in bridal parties, because I didn't want to be like, hello, I'm a professional, welcome to my mom's kitchen, you know? And it was just, you know, wasn't working out in that sense, but it worked for a couple of years. But yeah, so we found this place. It was, like I said, a minute away from my house, and it had this room that was empty, and I was like, I can totally see the cabinets in there, making this a spa room, and it clearly had all of these stations for hair, and then there was this beautiful archway that was perfect for the makeup station, and I was just like, okay, I think we got it. Okay, so here. I think it just kind of was working, that I really was getting confident in that I knew what I was doing, and I could do this. Even if I didn't go to MMA, I would definitely not be owning a business. That's just a fact. Short of it. Yeah, that's really a fact. They really taught you to have this confidence in being your own and finding what's you. I mean, for me, top priority. Yeah. When I first walked in here, it was such a big work in progress. I was hesitant of if this was the right place for me, but it really transformed, and it just feels like home. I've always wanted it to look like me when you walk in, and different, because there's a lot of, there's a lot of beauty places, but I wanted it to be specific for what my brands. I just like them to look how I like. So I like certain colors in here. There's like, it's pretty 50s diner pastel colors, and on my website it's like, here's the makeup services, and there's like a pink lollipop, which doesn't have to do with makeup, but I just think aesthetically it fits me. So that's kind of how I branded it. There's a lot of like food and like macaroons and like pretty donuts and stuff, but that's just what I gravitate towards. So instead of just putting a bunch of stock photos of people putting on eyeshadow that's not me, I'd rather it look really pretty and fit my brand and show off what my work is just in its own post. I would love to have a whole staff. So for right now, it's just me. And I love that too, because I have full control over everything, and I get to know every single customer that walks in the door. But yeah, it would be nice to have different people to work with, and I have one person that she'll do the full body waxing, so that's not for me, but I like to stick with the face, which is what makeup school do. But yeah, so I do eventually want to move, maybe something bigger, and I get to do all this interior design again, which would be really fun. I'm all about what's cute, Yeah, I'd want it to be a bigger space, and I'd probably want multiple rooms. So for right now, I have one spa room, but I'd love to be able to have a couple of spa rooms and a couple of people working at the same time. There's so many different places that you can get involved in makeup, whether it's in a photo shoot or theatrical performances and video film shoots and bridal parties, your friends going to prom, or there's just so many different ways and so many different people, and you need to learn skin tones and undertones and everything that comes with that, and that's just something that you need to be taught, or else you're gonna get put in a pickle when someone comes in and you're like, I don't know what to do about this hyperpigmentation or something that everyone's different. There's going to be something different on every single person. You're not going to do the same face of makeup on every single person. You're going to pull different products for different skin types, for different events, for just different things like that. Depending on what they're wearing, you have to figure out what works with that, or else you're going to be clashing it. And we all learned about everything with that. We had to learn about face shapes and just absolutely everything that you could possibly learn. And eye shapes, that's the biggest thing. If everyone wants a wing liner, there's 20 million different ways to make that work on someone, and sometimes it's not going to work on someone. But yeah, you learn how to make it work on every single different characteristic. Everyone got along, and everyone was just, that's not always going to be reality. Everyone doesn't like everyone all the time. But for my class, we really came together, and if you were struggling with something, you could look at the person next to you and say, can you tell me what I should change? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Should we add more blush? Is this even? Is this? And different people brought different things to the table. So specifically, I always bring up Sam. She's just amazing when it comes to everything in makeup, but specifically when she had just started, she was about to be in art school, so she was really good at graphic liner, and I was like, what? Like, she was like freehanding stuff, and I was like, this is not me. But that's when you have to learn. Not everything is gonna be your shtick. Like, some things are gonna be what you like. For me, I love just like, you know, beauty, clean makeup. Where some people love like those big cut creases and glitter and, you know, everything. You find your own style. And with this, having this community of people that I can call on, I've called on Sam for bridal parties and there's another girl that, Sarah, she's called on me to join her bridal parties, and you need to have people that you rely on to help you out in this, because it's just not realistic to think that you can take on 12 people at one time for bridal parties, and it's just good to have other opinions and people to talk to that relate to you. And someone is gonna have something that they can bring to the table that you can't. And that's not a bad thing on you, that's just artistry. Picasso and Leonardo da Vinci have, you know, they're just as, sure we'll say, like, they're worth just as much.
In society, we put them in a bubble as an artist,
but they're so very different. Yeah, it's just what you need, or what that client calls for. A journey, definitely a journey to get to where your confidence is, but I just took every opportunity that I could. But they taught, I knew I had everything, because when you went into one field, so there's a film class, and that was not my number one thing, but I took it because you just don't know what you're gonna come across. And I ended up having 2 films that, so there's a film class, and that was not my number one thing, but I took it because you just don't know what you're gonna come across. And I ended up having 2 films that, it was like one of my first jobs was 2 films, and they were so intimidating, but I couldn't not take the opportunity. And when I took one of them, it was the day of, I was on set, and she was like, oh yeah, and she breaks her nose in this scene. And I said, huh? Yeah, so thank God I took the film class, and I had the intro to special effects, which, you know, there's just all these umbrellas. I didn't take any, like, the special effects program, but just because I took that film class, it really helped me to look completely 100% a professional in this field.